I can't believe what I'm seeing in Boston. As we saw in yesterday's performance, Jaden Springer spring right off that bench and stay ready for this Celtics team, as he was a major defensive impact in getting the Celtics W. And amongst him being amidst trade rumors, he could realistically be a standout piece for Joe Mazzulla's bench unit as a unique defender. And we're going to be diving in and looking at Jaden Springer's game from yesterday and going over as well some great comments from his teammates and from Springer himself following the contest. Welcome back to Celtics Digest. I am Bruce Veliz. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support on the channel. Yesterday, we had our weekly live stream, which was absolutely popping yesterday with a bunch of questions and a bunch of people, so I appreciate everyone that did tune in. If you missed it, you can go check it out on a VOD, and if you want to make sure you stay up to date to make sure you get into those live streams, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on everything revolving around this Celtics team to get updates on post-game videos, breakdowns on players like this, live streams, trade rumors, and much more. But without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab that snack. So we're going to be diving in and looking at something that was great to see last night in Jaden Springer realistically coming off that bench and being a key impact player for this Boston Celtics team. And if you know Jaden Springer, you probably know him for the Boston Celtics for being his name thrown in trade rumors, as his contract is around $4 million and he doesn't realistically have a role on this Celtics team. But we saw with the Boston Celtics last night playing against the Clippers, who had a numerous amount of injuries as well to their roster. The Celtics had some of their own, and with Jrue Holiday, one of their premier defensive guards, being out, and the Celtics struggling on the defensive side, with the Clippers just lighting up and ready to go offensively, the Boston Celtics threw Jaden Springer in the game in as a spark plug off the bench, and he made an immediate impact as he got 2 steals on his first trip and was a big bona fide factor in how the Boston Celtics were able to limit the Clippers' offense in shutting down guys like Amir Coffey, Kevin Porter Jr., and many others to get the Celtics back in this game and pull out the victory. And he was definitely the MVP for the Celtics in my eyes last night. But if we want to look at Springer's stats from yesterday, like I mentioned, 20 minutes for Springer. And if you look at the stat sheet, you see 2 for 6 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, 2 rebounds, 4 steals, 8 points. You think in your head, that's necessarily not that great of a stat line. But let me tell you, the stat sheet does not show you what Springer was doing. He was playing immaculate defense, locking up a guy in Kevin Porter Jr. who was going off in the third quarter. Once Springer was put onto him, he was locked down. And as we see from Bobby Manning, it was a 78-75 Clippers lead when Springer checked in, and the Celtics went on a 26-17 run since that, in which the Clippers were 7 for 23 from the field with 9 turnovers. And Springer was a major factor in forcing a lot of those turnovers, as well as he was taking up on those guys and playing some fantastic defense. But not only was Springer doing that as well, but he hit some big time shots for the Boston Celtics, as we saw him in this game versus the Clippers hit 2 threes, with one of them being a big time 3 in overtime in the corner to basically be the dagger versus this squad. He also had 2 rebounds, but he was flying for offensive rebounds and was almost getting a hand on every single tipped pass, making sure that his presence was known on the court. And that's what I love to see out of a guy in Jaden Springer and with this stay ready group, because as you can see, with this time that he's played, 20 minutes in this game, but in the month of January, he's seen games of most of 6 minutes, and throughout this season has seen a max minutes before this 20-minute game, at 13 minutes a game, with no game realistically eclipsing 10 minutes. So we all know that Jaden Springer has been kind of logged on this bench with the immersion of obviously Peyton Pritchard offensively at the start of the season, being one of those talented guards, with Jrue Holiday, with Derrick White. But with Jrue Holiday being out and the Celtics still needing a primary on-ball defender, they went and got Jaden Springer, brought him up, and he came ready to pack that punch. Like I said, he sprung off that bench, ladies and gentlemen, and he was ready to go and be needed most for this team. And that's what I love to see from Jaden Springer, and he was very, very impactful. And like I mentioned, Springer is a guy who's been mentioned in trade rumors here and there. And personally, we've talked about it on this channel, but I've always been a big fan of Jaden Springer. He has those similar traits like Marcus Smart. And Sam Cassell wanted Jaden Springer on this team because he knew the 76ers wanted to give him up. And because they didn't want him for their long-term future, they knew it was a long-term, he was in a little bit of an expensive contract. And Sam Cassell knew from coaching over at the 76ers from the year previous that Springer was a dog. He knew he'd fit Joe Mazzulla's mentality, would fit Joe Mazzulla's defense, and it is working in the minutes that Jaden Springer gets the shine. Even last season and even sporadic moments throughout this year when he has been thrusted in, when he's been needed to play defense, he goes in and takes those teams' best offensive player and locks them down. And yesterday was doing that when Kevin Porter Jr. was getting really hot in the third quarter when the Clippers were really seeming to take over. But if we want to look at some more tweets on basing this, obviously Matt John was saying that's why Sixers fans hated that they gave Jaden Springer to the Celtics. We obviously saw this from Bobby Manning. Our boy Dan Greenberg, Stool Greeny, obviously saying we are watching Avery Bradley, as he was obviously pumped to see him hitting some clutch threes. He did airball one, but obviously some shades of Avery Bradley in there. And Celtics fans, Celtics reporters are obviously enamored with this great game because Jaden Springer realistically did step up when it needed most for the Boston Celtics and was the main difference maker tonight. Jack Simone, obviously, how about them Celtics? Jaden Springer trying to save this team. I know my boy Sam as well. Sam LaFrance was pumped up, posting his picture with his Jays. And then we see from Daniel Dada Beaton some quotes from Jaden Springer saying post game that it felt good that JT trusted him, that his team supported him, and Jrue trusted him. In me, it felt good. So once again, Springer very happy, very ecstatic to see that he is going to be able to get this opportunity to be called off the bench and be able to step up when the Celtics need it most. And we see once again from Noah Dalzell in the locker room, Jayson Tatum making everybody laugh and just having a good moment with Jaden Springer here as he heckled him, telling him to speak up during his locker room media availability with about 30 reporters obviously clobbering around him as he talks about how he knows how he's been impacting the opponent. So that was great to see as well. Just Jaden Springer getting the love from the guys in Jayson Tatum and Jrue Holiday and all those guys as well on these team, these veterans, giving him the respect, making sure the young blood gets his love on his night. There was also a clip, I did not include it, that Jack posted as well on Twitter, where Luke Cornett, after the game, went up and just ran to Jaden Springer after the final whistle and was just pumping him up and getting him ready to go. And those are the things you just love to see from some of the bench mob guys and from top to bottom, with the stars as well. Just hyping up a guy in Jaden Springer, really, really showing him that effort really does matter to them and that he was one of the more impactful players in that night. And if you ask anybody on this Celtics team, I was going to say they would tell you that they did not believe that it would be Jaden Springer to jump off the bench to give you that big time performance. In the weekly live stream, I said someone was going to step up on this Western Conference road trip similar to Nemi, but I did not think it would be Jaden Springer. But we'll have to see how Jaden Springer looks in these next couple games as well, because the Celtics have the Lakers in a back-to-back. We'll have to see if Springer gets any action in tonight's game, or if the welcome of Jrue Holiday, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porziņģis will take Springer out. I ultimately do believe with his great performance yesterday, we will see Springer get some time at least tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Let me know how you ultimately feel about this Celtics team, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.